SAfm, South Africa's news and information leader.
Thank you, Nancy. Coming up, COSATU reiterates its call for citizens to boycott e-tolls, and former Liberian president is found guilty of war crimes. Good afternoon. COSATU says it will be surprised if SANRAL wins in its court fight with the opposition against Urban Tolling Alliance. Speaking at a media briefing in Johannesburg today, COSATU Secretary-General Uzwelinzima Vavi reiterated the Labour Federation's call to Gauteng citizens to boycott the e-tolls set to come into effect at the end of April. Vavi says citizens can make the e-tolling system unworkable if they don't succumb to what he calls SANRAL's blackmail tactics.
There is absolutely nothing they can do. They don't have regulations to enforce this. Their officials are not the peace officials as should be declared by the Minister of Justice. There is no mechanism.
Meanwhile, SANRAL has accused the opposition to Urban Tolling Alliance of using bad maths in the attack on the rationality of government's e-tolling decision. SANRAL's lawyers are arguing against the urgent interdict application by the opposition to Urban Tolling Alliance in the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. Senior court reporter Candice Klein reports.
SANRAL's lawyer, David Unterhalter, says OUTA is treating the complex feasibility study as a menu, picking and choosing certain aspects while ignoring the bigger picture. OUTA calculated that collection costs and e-tolling far exceed the costs of fixing the highway and that the e-tolling system is thus irrational. But Unterhalter called this simplistic mathematics, which ignores other financial imperatives which inform the decision. Unterhalter says there will actually be a cost saving of 15.1 billion by 2027 through the e-tolls. Candice Klein, SABC News, Pretoria.
The 15-year-old boy arrested in connection with the rape of an 8-year-old girl at Gingindlovu on the KwaZulu-Natal North Coast has been released into the care of his parents. The teenager was arrested on Tuesday and appeared in court yesterday. The grade 2 learner was attacked and raped and her eye gouged in a sugarcane field near her home on Monday. Police spokesperson Thulani Zwane says in terms of South African law, the suspect must be treated as a minor. He says the boy will be back in court on the 25th of next month at the Mtunzini Magistrates Court.
A 15-year-old boy who allegedly raped and attempted to kill a 8-year-old girl at the Gingindlovu area appeared yesterday in the Gingindlovu Magistrate Court. He was released on parents' custody and the case is still under investigation.
The family of murder-accused Zalfa Jacobs says they are disappointed following the postponement of her case in the Mitchells Plain Magistrates Court on the Cape Flats. Jacobs is alleged to have killed her 2-year-old son Tariq in December last year. The toddler was found dead behind a school in Beacon Valley. Jacobs reported him missing, but later allegedly confessed to killing him. The matter has been postponed to the 12th of June for further investigation. Her father, Shahid Yapi.
I don't know what is taking it so long. We would very much like the case to start. I visit her every week. She also wants them to start with the proceeding. It's sad. I mean, we come together, like, mostly on a weekend. People talk about Zuva and what a good person, she is.
South Africa's producer inflation rate, or PPI, has fallen slightly. Statistics South Africa says the PPI, which represents domestic output, slowed to 7.2% year-on-year in March from 8.3% in February. This was lower than economists had forecast. Analysts say the PPI figure should be fairly positive for consumer inflation, even though there is not always a very direct link. In other parts of the world, former Liberian President Charles Taylor has been found guilty of war crimes at a special court in The Hague. Taylor is accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity by backing groups in the brutal 10-year civil war in neighboring Sierra Leone in the 1990s. There's been worldwide interest in the judgment in the 4-year war crimes trial. At stake is the extent to which former heads of state can be held accountable for their actions. Recapping the top story, COSATU says it will be surprised if SANRAL wins in its court fight with the opposition against Urban Tolling Alliance. That's